Hi there, it is Melissa from melissaversusfibromyalgia.com, and today I want to share 19 ways to make working with chronic pain and fatigue a little bit easier for you. So working with chronic pain and fatigue is hard. I've done it for more than 15 years. Basically, my entire work life, I've had chronic pain and fatigue. So I've learned a lot along the way, and now as a yoga teacher, I've got some tools to add to it. So I thought that it would be a good time to give you my tools to make it easier. So the first thing you might want to consider is making sure that your desk is ergonomically correctly set up. So any modifications to your workstation to reduce pain will be a good start. You could use a discrete heating pad or something else of that nature to help manage pain. Have healthy snacks and loads of water. Take your breaks. So I'm talking about micro breaks, so really quick stretching breaks. Also regular kind of moving away from the computer breaks if you're a computer user, just taking those breaks. So productivity research shows that the ideal working to break ratio is 52 to 17. So 52 minutes of work to 17 minutes of rest, but I don't think your employer is going to enjoy that very much. But at least take 5 minutes every half an hour of sustained computer work to walk away and just do some stretching. Take your tea breaks and your lunch breaks. The next tip, if you usually stand for work, then try to sit in your breaks and maybe raise your legs if possible. But if you usually sit, try to walk for at least part of your break. And stretching. So you can do some discrete regular stretches, and you can also do some full stretches where possible. One of my things, and we'll talk about it more later, is yoga at work. Meditation. So during your longer breaks, maybe do some meditation to give yourself a really good break and rest. And also right after work is a good time. And also breathing. So if you're feeling stressed or sore, you literally don't need to tell anyone you're doing it, and no one needs to know you're doing it. Inhale for 4, pause for 2, exhale for 6. There's loads of fancy ways to breathe, but that's literally all you have to do. And if you keep your breathing up regularly, then you can help keep your central nervous system calm, which will help keep tension and stress down. And also use your sick leave when you need it. I found that was something difficult. I could never quite ascertain when I needed sick leave because, you don't really feel that well every morning when you get up. But if you feel like you need it, use it. And use the physical therapy that works for you. So I highly recommend a gentle form of dry needling by the physiotherapist. I've got persistent trigger points in my neck and shoulders, which are exacerbated by work. But whatever physical therapy works for you, utilize it and schedule it into your week. Also, another kind of set of recommendations is to negotiate work options. So whether that's reduced hours or flexible hours, so you can set your hours earlier or later depending on your best energy envelope. Maybe working reduced hours. So I worked quite well on 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Just before I had children. But earlier than this, when I wasn't able to really reduce my work hours, I did go from 40 hours to 37 and a half. In New Zealand, both are considered full-time depending on the company, and that made a bit of a difference for me. You could also maybe negotiate reducing a day a week. So when I went back to work after my first child, I didn't work Wednesdays. Now, it's not really a break or a day off to be hanging out with a toddler, but it did help just switching it up. And also a condensed work week may help some. So if you're already getting ready, getting out of the house, setting up your work, commuting, whatever that is, it might help to condense your hours and do them across 4 days instead of 5, and then have 3 days for rest. Now, you might be surprised to learn that there are things you can do after work that make work better. So make sure that you're resting after work. So maybe when you first get home, make sure you're resting before you dive into whatever else you have to do. Go to bed at a decent hour. You really want to get as much sleep and rest as possible. Do a yoga nidra guided meditation. So either straight after work or right before bed to encourage relaxation and good sleep, both if you like. And use those coping mechanisms, right? Don't just get home and fall onto the couch exhausted. do your yoga nidra, have a warm bath, use your heating pad, do your stretches, and do some restorative yoga. All of these things to help rest and relax your body and relieve tension. So some of the benefits kind of working from home might be that you can do less discreet options of managing pain. So for example, use of aromatherapy or bigger heating pads or topical ointments. I used to feel really self-conscious about the deep heat and the smell. Nobody really notices these things. But you can also use your breaks to meditate or sit with a heating pad. So I loved working from home because it meant that my lunch break was my yoga nidra break, and it really made a difference. And also by working from home, you're reducing that commute, so you're not arriving at work already in pain and fatigued. Well, you probably are already in pain and fatigued, but it will reduce it. And setting up your workstation exactly as you need for little things like lighting levels and other sounds, things that you probably can't control at the office physically. Some countries will have organizations that can assist you with the equipment to set up working from home. So just kind of see what's available in your area. Now, you knew there were going to be some more yoga tips. So like I said before, meditating in your breaks and maybe even your commute. So if you're not driving, maybe you could do some meditation. You don't have to close your eyes during meditation, and nobody has to know that you are doing it. And take regular stretching breaks. So I've got a couple of seated stretching breaks on my YouTube and loads in the Working with Chronic Pain and Fatigue program. But just taking regular stretching breaks and taking, maybe there's a few yoga stretches that really help you, embed them into your day and to your evening. And breathing breaks, like I said before, keeping that breath going, keeping the central nervous system calm, relieving tension and stress, and just breathing through it when you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by the pain and fatigue can help. Obviously, I've got a load more to say and a load more to share about helping, but this should be a really good starting point for you. So choose at least one thing here and try it this week, and then let me know how it goes for you. But if you want some help kind of creating your plans, enacting them, and some short and simple yoga practices for your workday and for after your workday to help while you're at work, then you can come and join us in the Working with Chronic Pain and Fatigue program. In that program, I have a masterclass kind of helping you to figure out what you need to do, help you make your plan. I give you the worksheets to make your plan for what to do, because if we don't write it down, we're probably going to forget, and those yoga tools that you can do at work and after work. But let me know what helps you manage at work. Are any of these tips something that you already do? Tell me which tips you want to try, and then come back and tell me which ones you tried and how it went for you. Did it help? Because what helps me and what I've learned might not quite match up with what everybody else learns and tries and helps. So share your knowledge and write in the comments. If you want to check out the blog post so you can see everything written, head over to melissaversusfibromyalgia.com, and I will link those desk yoga videos that I have for you as well. Hopefully something here helped. I hope you have a fab day, and I'll talk to you again soon.